So the values are stored with reference of keys. The values are stored with reference of keys. Key is string type. So key is always string type. Value can be any type. So we have key and values. Key can be any type and value can be any type. Key is always string. So you see here, how do we define an object? Syntactically, we create a reference. So obj, some, and object related all data is kept in a curly brace, in a block. So this represents an object. Array is allocated with square brace. Object is this, and object usually contains a key and it contains a value, or it can contain a key and it contain a function also. That means object can contain both data and logic. Data is defined in the form of a value and logic is defined in the form of a function. So object contains both data and logic. So we can keep all related data and logic in one place by using this. But important is if only data is present, that means if object comprises of only data, if object comprises of only data, then it is referred as JSON. If object contains only data, there is no, then we call it as JSON. JSON is a JavaScript object notation. JSON is JavaScript object notation. So it is a format of data. JSON is a format of data. So data is present in the format of JSON. I will show one example here. Means I will show you some sample. For example, means how this data comes in, how people use this. One small concept I will show you first. Actually, in a real-time development process, we usually have a database. Generally, we have database. We actually having some database. So database is a software where all the data is stored. And generally, this database is kept in a server. This is we call data center or data server. We have a data server or data center. That is the location where data is kept. And we keep the data here. And this data we have to provide to our clients. We have to provide the data to the users. And usually user can be on a PC or on a mobile or on a smart watch. Different will be there. That means there are different user sources. That means it can be a PC or it can be a mobile. It can be a mobile or it can be a watch like that. Smart devices. Now, how this data reaches to everybody? For example, you are using a smartwatch. On your watch, you can watch the weather forecast. That means current weather. It can display on your smartwatch. The same is there on mobile. The same it will be there on your PCs. On PC, you can watch the weather. On a mobile, you can watch the weather, current weather. And on a smartwatch, you can watch it. And they are maybe using different operating systems. PC may be using Windows, Linux, or Mac. Mobile is using Android, iOS, or something. Same watch also. Now, the point is how data comes to all these places. Actually, there will be one server side technology. There will be one server side technology. Generally, what happens is in the backend, you will use some Java or .NET or PHP or Python, something like that. By using these, you develop an application. By using these, you develop an application. So this application, actually it is present in application center. Application center is another server. We have data center and we have application center. And generally what happens is you have to communicate by using these technologies. You have to communicate with the backend database and you have to get the data. You need to get the data from the database by using these technologies. Actually, for that, you use different concepts. Generally, they use another software for handling this communication. And this is a middleware. This is a middleware. By using this middleware, they will communicate by using the data. That means they communicate with the database by using middleware. All technologies have a middleware which communicates with the database. I hope you know the name of the middleware that Java uses. JDBC. JDBC is a middleware. ADO.NET. That is a middleware for .NET. So that means there will be middleware. So like JDBC, like ADO. So these are different middlewares. They are responsible for communicating with the database, get the data from the database. After that, this data usually comes in a binary form. Data in binary. Data is actually in a binary form. So this data is not understandable to the clients. Then your technologies will use another middleware. They will use other middlewares. That means they will use other middlewares. So middlewares, right? They will use other middlewares. Actually, these middlewares, there are different middlewares like Express.js, like Cisco middlewares, Oracle middlewares. Sun Microsystem have its own middlewares. Usually we call these as APIs, Application Programming Interface. Application Programming Interface, API. Or you may know by the name of web service. You have a web service or API like concept. Actually, in your Java, .NET, earlier we used to use web services, but now the modern generation is going with APIs. application programming interface. Now, what these will do is they convert your data. They are responsible for communication. These are going to convert the data. These are going to convert the data in the format of XML or JSON. These are the two formats finally that comes out. They will be in the format of XML and JSON. And this XML and JSON is provided to the client. These are provided to the client. These are understandable to any operating system and any device. So whatever data that you see in any website, right, that is all coming from either JSON or XML. The data comes in the format of XML or JSON. These are the only formats that we use for web. Everything will be in this format. These days we are using lot JSON than XML. So we are using much JSON. So this diagram I will upload into the classroom. So here, what is the major concept for this is the data which is in the data source. This data need to be sent to client, and in which format the data will be coming to client. Only two formats will be there, XML and JSON. Database may be anything. It may be Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, anything. And there can be any middleware, any backend technology. For a front-end developers, people who are working in the front end, they don't care about what is the technology behind. They just want to know from where data is coming, its address. They are given with only address. And that address is enough to interact with the data. We can access the data, we can interact with the data. So the point is here, the communication between the client and the server side technology is managed by a middleware. Server side technology and database is again managed by a middleware. So I will show one real-time example. For example, we are developers. We know how to develop applications. Suppose I want to develop an application for science which have science and technology. That means based on science and technology, I want to build some app so that I want to provide that app to all the science students, or I want to provide that app to the people who have interest in science, like that. Then the question here is science, space, all such related data. If you want to design apps for them, from where the data will come to you. So will you prepare all the data by yourself? You can do that. But do you know, people like NASA, ISRO, all these people, they provide free data to outside world. Maybe ISRO is not having a separate API providing, but NASA is having. What NASA do is, they will say that if you are an app developer and you have the ability to build applications, then related to science and technology, if you are building apps, whatever data you need, we will provide. They freely provide. They have a separate website, you see. So they have a separate website, api.nasa.gov. This is NASA API's official website. In this website, you see here, what is the concept of this website is the main concept of this website is, so these people say that the objective of this site is to make NASA data available for application developers. That means if you are app developer, any technology app developer, have they mentioned, are you a Java developer or a .NET developer? They don't care. They don't even want to know who are you, which technology you belongs to. But they will provide data in a format that every technology in the world can understand. That means they haven't mentioned that for Java developers or .NET developers, PHP developers, application developers. Application developer means which technology application? Any technology. Now the question is how any technology can understand data. What is the format of data? Let's see what is the format of data they provide. Observe here, I scroll down, and when I scroll down, you see they are giving a browse APIs. I will go to browse APIs. You see so much requests are present here. You can see there are a lot of APIs, asteroids, Earth, so exoplanet, Mars rover photos, so many are there. Suppose I selected Mars rover photos, and you see they give a link here. They given some queries. So when I click on that query URL, and you can see that the data comes here. This is the data coming. And this is the data. And this is JSON. This is JSON. So NASA is providing in a JSON form. Few years back, they used to provide in XML. Now we are not using much XML. We are majority going with JSON. Now this is JavaScript object notation. Remember, in every real world project, every technology have to send data finally to client in only these two formats. Either it is JSON or XML, right? Nothing else. Data will be in this format. Now, we don't care what server side technology they are using, what database they are using. We just care about that URL from where data is coming. That means software developers are provided with that URL. By using the URL, they can access the data and they can create applications. That means our responsibility as a developer is presenting the data, creating interaction for this data. Presenting the data means, remember, in this data, photos are there, maybe videos also present. What we have to do, we need to create a UI for this user interface. Every developer have to handle JSON and XML. Let's see how to create such data by ourselves first. Then how to present the data. Then we will go with live. First, we will learn how to create such data ourselves. Why I showed you this? Because I just want to make you understand how important it is. That means finally data for every application comes in the format of JSON. So the point is how to create such data by ourselves and how do we present it. Then we will see live data coming from other websites, even NASA also we can do. Let's see. First, we will try to create such data. So how to keep all related data together? To keep all the related data together, that is the syntax. Actually, we keep the syntax like this. So where, suppose I am giving a product. Product is an object. This object contains a key like name. Now this is some name, comma, and it will have another key. So price. and some price. Like this, we are defining. Just only two details I am giving. You can have anything inside. Now, here we have two keys. One key is name, another key is price. And in a name key, a string is stored. Object and key must be separated with a colon. And multiple keys are separated with a comma. Right? With a comma, we have to separate. And in this key, you can store any kind of value, both primitive types, non-primitive types. We can store any kind of data. I will show you. But first, how to access this data? So you can access any value within object by using this dot key name. So this is a keyword that refers to current object. It refers to the current object. You can access any value within object. That means inside that object, if I want to access that name or price, then we have to use which keyword? This dot name, this dot price, like that. That generally we do when we write some functions inside it. Currently, we don't have any function. I will show you next concept. Then how to access outside? So you can access the values of object with the reference of object name dot key name, with reference of object name and key name. So you can access the values of object with reference of object name and key name. That means suppose I want to print the product price, document dot write, we say price is equal to product dot price, like this. That means what is the object name? Object name is product and the member is price. You know what is dot? Already we saw that. What is dot here? So here we have dot. Dot is present. Dot is member invoking operator. It is member invoking operator. It invokes the members of that particular class or particular object. Member invoking operator. So you create an object for any class, and how you access the members? So by using object name and dot. Dot is a member invoking operator. Member invoking operator. Yeah. So this is basic of creating an object and accessing object. Here, how to manage the data? See, JSON data is kept in a separate JSON file that have the extension .json. JSON data is kept in separate JSON file, which will have the extension .json. We can keep separately the data and we can access it. We can use it. So to access data from JSON file. JavaScript provides JavaScript provides a fetch. It provides a fetch promise. It provides a fetch promise. So we don't call it as a method, we call it as a promise. Generally, promise is a function which executes in an asynchronous way. Promise is a special type of function which executes in asynchronous way. We call it as AJAX, asynchronous JavaScript and XML. It is a method which executes asynchronously. Asynchronously means what? We have synchronous and asynchronous, two techniques. So asynchronous is nothing but, for example, we have some data. Suppose we have A, this is 4 MB. So yeah, suppose we are having that, yeah. Suppose we are having A and this is 4 MB, 4 MB data. We have B 10 MB. We have C 2 MB. Like this, we are having some data. Now what happens is you make a request here. That means you make a request. You want to read all of them. You make a request to A and it has to return 4 MB data. Then it will take some time to return all the 4 MB data. It will take some time. Now till that time, the client will wait until that 4 MB is finished. After the 4 MB is finished, then it will go to second one. That means one after another. One after another. This is called synchronous. Asynchronous is not like that. It will make a request for the first one. It is taking time. Then it will not wait. It will go to the second one. It will go to the third one. Now, whichever request is ready, that will come first. Whichever request is ready, that will come first. That means now on the screen, you will see first C is there. After that, A is there. After that, B is there, like that. That means it is not waiting to finish the previous. It is simultaneously executing others. This mechanism is called as asynchronous. Asynchronous. We call this as asynchronous. Actually, to create such asynchronous means without blocking others, execute the request. When you run a request, it will block other request and it will process only that. Then it is called as synchronous. Asynchronous means along with others. Without blocking others, it will execute this. So if you are communicating with APIs, getting data from APIs, it will obviously take time. And when it is taking time, it should not stop other work in the page. It should allow other work to happen. That is why we need promise. Actually, few years back, JavaScript people have to write manually asynchronous. Manually, we have to write asynchronous. But now separate asynchronous methods are given. The advantage of these methods is you just use those methods and handle the functionality. It will manage asynchronous way internally. Earlier, we have to write. For example, Java people write such things using multi-threading. You are developing a Java application without blocking one task. If you want to execute another task, then you have to use a concept called multi-threading. And here the same thing happens, but here it is all asynchronous methods. We call them as what? Promises. By using a promise, we have to handle. And there is a promise which can fetch the data from any JSON. It can access the data and it can use the data. And that is what actually we call as fetch, right? Yes, you people, hello. You can go out. You can enjoy your Sunday. Please. Why you are wasting your time and my time? Huh? Who forced you to come to class? Right. You accompany him because it's irritating for me by seeing such time waste people in my class. Right. We are using a precious Sunday here, which is a holiday, to learn some good thing. And you are wasting my time. Please, if you are not very much interested, get out. Time waste with you type of people for me. Right? Please get out if you don't like. Right? Because it's waste of time for me. It's irritating for me to see such people. Okay, na? Right. So here, how we can access this? How we can communicate with this? So to communicate with any JSON type data and others, we have to use a promise called what? Fetch. By using this fetch, you can communicate with any APIs. We can communicate with any JSON. We can communicate with any other files and access their data. Let's see how to do that. Means how we can manage this fetch promise. So what is a promise? Promise is a special type of function that handles async methods, that handle async methods. Promise is a special type of function that handles asynchronous method. So async is unblocking technique. Async is unblocking technique. That means, so without blocking other requests, it can process your request. That is the concept of asyncs. So without blocking the other requests, it can process your request. That is asynchronous. You will see this asynchronous everywhere. For example, I will tell you one simple basic thing. Suppose you are using some WhatsApp. When you are using WhatsApp and you are offline. And when you are offline, so at 7 a.m., somebody sent a video to you, some of your friend. And at 7:15 a.m., he sent you a picture. So pic. And at 7:30 a.m., he sent some text message to you. Now, when you are suddenly online, when you are in connection, right? Now, which message will come first? It will be in the same order how he sent. But you will see text first. Right? That means order will be same. But you will see text first. Video will be loading. Picture will be loading. Am I right? Order is same. That means video is loading. Till video loads, it will not wait. It will show you text. That means you will see text first. But actually first video only comes. That is asynchronous. If it is synchronous, what should happen is until video is finished, it will not open others. Once video is completely loaded, complete, then it will go to picture. After that, text. So That is synchronous technique. This is asynchronous technique. So we can use this fetch to make a asynchronous request, get the data and present the data. Actually, this fetch works like this. So the fetch is going to work like this. We have fetch. It will ask the URL from where to get the data. It will use a URL. Fetch uses an URL. Means from where I have to get the data. And after that, if this URL exists and it is correct URL, then it will execute a function dot then. Then it will chain a function called then. This then is using a callback function. This callback function will get response. This then is going to get a response. It will get a response. I'm just separating in multiple lines just for clarity. So what this then function will do is, this then function, then is a function, that then callback function, it will get the response coming from this URL. That means from that URL, whatever is coming, that information will be stored in response. But unfortunately, that information coming from URL will be in binary form first. Means data comes in a binary form. So response contains data in which format? Binary. Now what we have to do is, this binary data we have to convert to JSON and return to the function. Then we have to use a return which will convert response into which format? JSON. Response.json is going to convert, it is going to convert the binary into JSON. After converting binary into JSON, it will return that JSON. That means now data is coming in the format of JSON. This JSON data will be used by another then function. It will collect the data which is coming in JSON format. That means here you can use data. You can use the data here. You can use the data here. Whatever data comes, you can use it. You can present it. You can do some manipulations on it. So two thens will be used. One is first success, second success. If anywhere it fails, that means unable to get the URL is wrong, or that server is not responding, then will happen a catch. Catch uses a callback function. This will catch the exception. It is going to catch the exception. That means why it is unable to handle. So you can display exception. Exception means failure. Why it failed? It is unable to get the data. It is unable to communicate with the URL. That means if any then have failed, why it failed, what failed, that information will be collected by catch. And catch can show that message. Catch can display that message. And it also have finally have a function. This will execute. This finally function execute always. It executes always. That means when the request is successful, it will execute finally. Request failure also it will execute. That means finally contains the statements which are to be executed every time. Why you want to execute this every time? Because for example, to communicate with API, what we do? To communicate with API, we connect with API. We get the data from API. After that, we have to disconnect. Then you connected with API, but data is not coming. It failed, but still connection is opened. That means after failure also it should disconnect. That means disconnecting with API on success, on failure. Every time it has to execute. Then that task we will give to whom? Finally. Or erasing the memory or destroying objects. Everything we can do in finally. So these two are optional. Catch, finally are optional. You can just use the then. Right? Let's see how this works now. So the point is how to create an object, how to access the data. First, I will show you a simple way here. See how to solve this problem now. We need to keep related data together. See what we are doing now. We will create an product. Product is an object. In this key have a name. So name, some name. After that we have price. So we have some price. And now we need to present it. How do we access? Document dot write. So we want to print name. How to get the name? Object name, product dot what? Name. In the next line, I want price. How to access it? Product dot price. We can access the data and present. So it is going to present the data in this way. So it is going to present the data in this way. Whatever data is in object, we are accessing it. Now we can modify the data. Suppose I want to change price. Then here I can use product dot price is equal to, I will ask prompt and I say enter new price, something, enter new price like this. And what we will do is, so here I will put a message. Yeah, let's see now. It is saying enter new price. New price is some 70,000 and it will display that. We can assign some value into that. We can read value from it. So you can just manage by using an object. Now this price belongs to this object, right? All related data is at one place. All the related data is in one place. So this is a simple object, but in reality, this data is not in HTML. This data comes from separate JSON file, or it will come from an API. We will see how to handle that. So I will show one real example. Let's see the website like some Flipkart. Okay. In this Flipkart, I selected some product details. You see some product related details are there, mobile. So some mobile. And I am using some mobile. Some mobile I am selecting here. So now you can see this is the mobile related data. Actually, so the previous here, you see this is already, this we designed now. This type of interface we created. Now the question here is how this data is coming, because it is not standard. Means every few days price may be changing. The colors and photos will be changing. Products will be changing. So whatever data is present here, it is actually coming from a JSON file. That means this data is present in their database. In the database, they update the data. Automatically, it will reflect here. Now, our responsibility is to present like this, right? First, we will maintain this data. Where to maintain this data? In XML or in JSON. So let's go and create here. We will go here in our project. I will create a separate folder by name data. I am creating a separate folder by name data. In this data folder, I will add a new file, product.json. Product.json, that is the file. Now in this JSON file, we have to keep the data. Actually, your Java.NET will teach you how to generate this JSON data from a database. That means you will learn database connections like Oracle, MySQL or something. Your technologies have to teach you. Java.NET, all these technologies, they will teach you how to communicate with the database, how to get the data and convert it into JSON. That is what you will learn in a concept called REST APIs or web services like concepts. You will learn them. Initially, here what we are doing, creating our own data. So see now, this is an object. Only one product related details we will maintain. Then it is an object. Object is designed in a block. Okay. Now what are the keys? I will put title. Title is a string. Title is a string. The title is nothing but, suppose this is the title. That means this is the title. Title related data. Suppose we will take this one. I hope we have this picture also. Right? I will copy this data and I will keep it here. That is the title. Okay, next, it is having price. And see the price, it is 10,999. That is the price. Okay, comma. Next, it is having image. Image. Image is, we copied that image in our project, if you remembered. So where it is present, // public / images / realme.jpg. Otherwise you copy that. So I already think we have that. So in the public images, we have like realme. Yeah, realme.jpg is there, right? We already have that image. Okay, next what? Next, it is having these features. Am I right? It is having these features. I will put these features here separately. These all the features, collection of several features. Then you can make them as an array. Am I right? Array of every feature is what type? String type. Every feature is a string type. That means every feature is a string type feature. I'm adding the features like this. That means we are configuring all the features in a string type. So we are adding all the features in a string type. Means just separated with a comma. So all these features are string type. Now what we will do is, we will copy this array. And here I will keep that in the JSON. We have a key called features. Features is an array. Understood? It's an array of all types, all the keywords defined here. So we have a object title, price, image, and its features. Okay. Next what? After features, we have ratings. And observe here, rating contains rate, it contains count, and it contains reviews. Rate, count, and reviews. It has 3 options. So this ratings is again an object. These are embedded objects, object in object. And now ratings object contains 3 keys. What are those? One is rate. Rate is some 4.3, and it is having another one. What it is? Count. Count is how many people? Some 17,000 people. 17,890 something. And another one is reviews. Reviews, how many people? Some 888 reviews. Like this we define. This is data. So as of now, this is enough. So that means this is good complex data. More complex will be there. Like inside that array, again some objects and arrays like that. This is the perfect JSON data. That's how data comes. Some employee data, student data, product data, everything comes in this JSON. Now what is our responsibility? Fetch this and create a user interface for this. We need to present it, right? Let's see how to present this. How we can present this data. Presentation you need to do with your HTML. I will do. Go to JavaScript. I will add a new file. Suppose I given here flipkart.html. Okay, in this we will create a simple design. We will create a link relation style sheet, href. So node modules, bootstrap, dist css, bootstrap.css. I'm just using bootstrap, and I will use relation is equal to style sheet, href, node modules, bootstrap icon, font icons.css. Now we will see this. Okay. Now what we need to do is we will put a class. So container fluid. Okay, here I want to present. I will create a div in this class as row and margin top as 4. In this row, 3 columns we need. In one column div, in one column class column 3. In column 3 there will be image, and we have another div that is class what? Column suppose 7, and another div we will have class column what? 2. We divided it into 12, right? Now in the left column we want to display an image. In this left column we want to display some image, and here we want to display the title, features, and everything we want to show. See what we are doing temporarily here. So how we can present that information, right? So here there is an image, and the image I will just give the ID as img product. That is the ID for image. So the width I will give as 200 pixels. That's enough. Usually there will be one image there. So some border 1. Okay, then height as some 200 or 300 like this. We have some image 200. That's image. So this is the image we are having. Actual original size is this one. This is the original size. That's what it is having. Okay. Now after this, in the next column, here we will put a heading, or we will put a simple paragraph. And for this class, we will give heading 3 class. And here I will give a title, ID as LBL title. Here I want to display product title. Product related title must display there. You can use a simple div that is traditionally good. Below that we will keep another div. This ID will be LBL ratings. LBL ratings. After that we will create an UL. UL is unordered list. ID is LBL. LBL, this is features, huh? Features like this we are doing. Now, right side, I will keep another div, the class heading 3 and ID as LBL price. ID is equal to LBL price. Just we kept everything empty there. Now, what should happen is at the time of loading the body, I should load that product details here. The product details are present in a JSON file. We have to fetch that and display. So, we are going to write the event body onload. Onload, what it is? Body load. We will write a script here and the function. Function is body load. On body load, we need to get the data. And in JavaScript, to get data from any APIs, we have to use a fetch promise. Fetch from which URL? URL is the JSON file. // it is in a folder called data. In that, what is the file? Product.json. Then, if it is successful, you'll get a response. So this we have to return the response in which form? JSON. After that, another then. This is the callback function. It will collect the product data. Am I right? Because what data is coming in JSON form? A product. Now this product contains all these keys: title, price, image. Now we need to present that inside this UI. Let's access the image. Document dot get element by ID. What it is? IMG product dot src is equal to product dot image. That's it. Product is an object, na? In that object, we have a image key. That means it will get the data from there and it will display. I will not use any border, right? It will get the data from there and it will display. I'm not giving any width. So here you see it will display fit. So this is how really data comes. We don't put directly photo anywhere in page. Page will be empty. It will contain only containers. Into the containers, we pass the data. The data dynamically comes from a API, right? What our developers do is they update in database. It will automatically reflect here, right? Now we need to present other details. How do we present other details? You know, so document dot get element by ID. What it is? LBL title dot inner HTML product dot what title, and you see it will display it. And if you want to apply some color, then we can use font color as suppose what? Blue. Like this I apply. We learned string formatting, na? It's a string. You can apply some string formats. Now below this, you see there is a ratings. Document dot get element by ID. LBL what? Ratings. Ratings dot inner HTML. I will use a backtick because I have to present lot of things. In that strip, I have to present lot of things. What I have to present is, I have to present a span. That means in that div, I have to present a span. That span should contain a background green color and a rating. How to get the rating here? Product dot ratings. Ratings is an object, na? You see, ratings is an object. This object again contains some keys. What are the keys? Rate, count, and reviews. So what we have to do here? We have to write like this. That means we have to say ratings dot rate. And what we will do is we will put here class because bootstrap is there. bg bg success. After that padding 2. After that text white. And we will put rounded and rounded 2. Like this we are using. And here beside that rate, I will put again a span and close the span. This span will have a class that is bi star fill. It will be like this. And you can see it is going to display that. This is not directly designed. It is coming from a JSON file. Now, beside that, I want to display. So here, yeah. Beside that, I want to display another content. What it is? So I will put here space. I have to define the ratings. Means I have to use what it is, product dot ratings dot what ratings dot count. I will keep this in a bold. I will keep that in a bold. Okay. And ratings, I will give the word ratings. And I have to just use another one, product dot ratings dot what reviews. And here, and I will keep reviews word. Oh, this much large amount of data we are presenting, this bold will be ending here. Then you can see it will display in this way. Rating and reviews. And here I'm just using, right. So here I'm just using some space. Where is it? Yeah, we are adding some space here. It will be there. You can add, where is that span here? Ratings and reviews and all for this span after the rounded span. Okay. It will be using margin end as 3. So it will have some gap. Okay. Now this is rating and reviews. Now comes the major one here. Now what I want to do is I need to create a collection is there. These all features are there. Na? These features is an array. I have to read every feature and add in the unordered list. Right? What is the ID for unordered list? Unordered list ID is LBL features. Into that unordered list, I have to add all the product features. Product features is an array. Na? How do you read every element from an array? So we have to use product dot what features. It is an array. We have to apply a map. It will use a function. It will read every feature. And for every feature, we have to create a list item. Document dot what? Create element. Which one? Li. Li dot inner HTML. It should be what? Feature. Feature. After that, add this to the unordered list. That means document dot get element by ID LBL what? Features dot what? Append child. Which one? List item. List item. This is dynamically adding all the features. I will keep this some gap here. That means ratings will have a class margin top 3. Features will have a class margin top 3. Some gap will come. So that is how we are accessing the data and displaying. And one more is there, price. Price usually comes at the right side. So we need to add one more option here. This is done here. Document dot what? Get element by ID LBL price dot inner HTML. Here product. We have to access product. Product dot what? Price. And you can see that price information will come. And see here, what I am doing here is I am using this price dot to local string. We use it to local string now. So en hyphen what? In. After that, we are applying some effect. I am applying effect style. Style is what? Currency. Currency. After that, currency. Currency is what? Currency is INR. That means the format we are applying. We are displaying in a currency format. I told you converting to local string, na? Right? That means we are displaying the data in this format. So we are converting that into a local string, English India, and we are defining that price and displaying. So usually here, whatever data is present, it is going to get it and display the data, right? So technically, this is how a Flipkart or Amazon is designed actually. Whatever products information you see, that is all coming from a data source. They don't design there. They don't upload pictures there, right? Everything is in database. Just they need to update every day. You see newspapers. Every day newspaper site changes. That means overnight developers will sit and design newspaper website every day. No, they just pass the article data. They can even dynamically change the layouts. Dynamically changing layout. I told you about grid, na? Display grid, right? So this is how data comes, how data is presented. So for example, here the price, the photo is having some 250. That is the height adjusted and configured like this. Now, if there are many products, how? If there are many products, how we manage the data? That's a simple one actually. If there are many products, this is only one mobile. That mobile related information is present here. The mobile related information is present in this product.json. If there are many products, then do you know how the data is maintained? If there are many products, the data is maintained like this. Products, and it is an array and array of objects. Understood? Am I right? It's an array of objects now. Array of objects means one product information at 0, another product information at 1. So that means if there are many products, actually we maintained only one product, right? If there are many products, then all they are kept in an array. Then what you have to do, we have to do an iteration over that array. I will show you that also. First, we will see here, how do we handle the data here? I will give this example to you. So in this example, first point is create a new folder. Create a new folder into project by name data. We created a data folder and add a new file into data folder, that is product.json. And in this, I will copy this data. This I will upload into class. This is the data we are having. That is how we have to configure the data. After storing the data into that, what is the third step? Third step is consume this, right? Consume JSON data and present in HTML page. And I created some HTML page. This is the HTML page code where we are fetching the data and presenting. Remember, presentation can be any way. I will show you different presentation. That means sometimes we present like cards. We learned cards, na? Right? Sometimes we present like a table. Sometimes we present just like this. We will see different types of presentation. Different types of presentation. How do we manage them? Right? Initially, so let's do one thing. You saw the data, how it is maintained. Let's see multiple details. Multiple details. One another example I will give you. For example, in the Flipkart page, this is Realme, that is champion block. That means now I will copy this snipe tool. Yeah. And I will copy this one. This part I will copy. Yeah. I will save this as in our project folder. That is Flipkart public images. And here I will give Realme black .jpg. It is Realme black .jpg. We have Realme black, Realme gold. Actually, here I am showing you some blue, some Realme blue. I am showing green. So green or something I am showing here. And see now, I will go to data and I will change Realme what? Black. Because I given the title as black. I am changing the photo path. Then it will change. That means you just change the photo path there. Then it will change. And now we will maintain multiple products. Multiple products, nothing but let's do one more here. I will create another file called products.json. Previously, it was only one product. Now we have products.json. In this products.json, it is an array. That means the final data is in the format of array. In this array, two objects will be there. I will copy first object is this. So I will copy that first object here. Let's copy the first object here. Okay, this is first object, comma, second object. Second object, just name I will change. This is champion, some aqua, something like this, aqua, right? It is a different one. And his image is what? Realme.jpg. We have one black, another one aqua. Now these two products I want to show. These two products I want to display, right? How you want to display? In a table you can display, same like grid style you can display, or like cards you can display. That's you depending on your requirement. Now let's see how to handle the data which is having multiple objects. Handling the data which have multiple objects. Okay, let's create another file. So the links are same. Okay, I will create another JavaScript file. So Flipkart products.html. Okay, and this is the HTML page. These two bootstrap links are there. Class, container, so fluid. Okay, now I will create a container here, or I will give this as main. I'm giving that as main. In that main, I have to add two products. In the main, I have to add the two products. So at the time of loading, body on load, what it is? Body load. Body load is the function. Let's write a script. In the script, we are defining here. So function body load. On that first, we need to fetch. Fetch coming from where? /data/ what it is? products.json. Then we will have a callback function. It will send a response. That response we have to return in which form? JSON. After that, another then function. This then function will collect the products. This time it is not one product, it is collecting array. This time it is not one product, it is array. Previously response returned one object. Now it is returning array. Then how to read every element from array? We have to use products dot map. Array na it is. So we will use a callback function. We will read every product. Remember, this products is an array. It will be like this. In this array, again, we have two objects. Am I right? One object, one product, another object, another. So this products is an array and this product is an object. That means it is reading first object here. After that, it will go to second. What map is going to do? It is going to read one after another. Right now, every product information I want to show in the main. In the main, I want to show every product information. So see what I am doing here. If I want to show every product information in the main how? We will create the divs, tables, containers any way you want. Suppose I want to show like a card style or some other style. Then usually what we do, so we will take here a simple var document dot create element. Var we are creating a div document dot create element div. We are creating a div dynamically now. Previously, what I done, I kept all the divs and headings ready now. Now I will not do that. Everything I will create dynamically. We will create everything dynamically, including divs and spans, right? Then what we will do is we are creating a div, and for this div, I will apply some effects. That means inside the div, what you want. Suppose what we are doing here is, first roughly I will create a simple card style for you so that you can understand. This div should behave like a card. How the div becomes a card? It becomes a card by applying a class name. What is the class name? Card. In Bootstrap, card class is there. Card, margin 2, padding 2, like this. And for every card div, we will put a style. Style is width. Width is suppose 200 pixel. So every card have a 200 pixel width. Now, inside this card, div.inner.html. Div.inner.html, we will create the card sections. That means inside the card, we will create a image. So in that image, or I will do one thing. Inside the card, I will create another div. Okay. This div is having class that is card body. You know, card body is there. And in this card body, I will put row. We will put a row. Right in the card body, we are keeping row. And in this, we will create 3 columns. We'll create 3 columns. Class. This is call how much? 3. And another column. So here we will put a class as column how much? 7. And another div. So previously we created this in our HTML page. Am I right? So class, this is what? Column 2. Okay. In left column, what you want? We want an image. What should be image source? Image source will be coming from, product dot what? Image. It is coming from product image. You see the product we are reading now. For every product, we are creating a card like. And in the card body, it is having image. This image width is, I will give as 200 pixel. Okay. That is the image. Left side, that image will come. And observe carefully. After that, right side in the center, we will put a div class as heading 3. And for this div, here we want to display title. How to display the title? Dynamic expression product. Product dot what? Title. Here we will also put as text primary color. Okay. Okay. Right side, I will keep another div class as heading 3, and temporarily here I will keep div. Here I will put the price. That means now what we will do is product dot what? Price. You can use all the formatting techniques and all. Temporarily I will give ampersand hash 8377 semicolon. It will get a currency symbol, Indian currency symbol. Okay, this card is ready now. I just designed roughly few things. This card must be added into card is ready. That card must be added into main. That means what we have to do? Document dot query selector. Query selector is what? Main. Main dot what? Append child. Which one? Div. And you can see now when I run this, it has to generate the both of them. So it is generating both of them. So it is generating both of them here. But I think columns are having some issue. This card width I have to adjust because I given card width only 200. Na? The card width I will give as 100%. 100% width means then it will fit like this. Now two products are coming here. And remember, every product may have a different price, right? Suppose I will go here to the data products and I will change is so first one. Okay. The second one is 124 GB, something like this. And it is 8 GB RAM. Then obviously its cost I change to 15. And you can see that it is going to change like that. Right? So it is going to display the data. That means the price is updated here and it is displaying the card. And other details, you know how do we manage. That means now see here, I want to present the other details in the card. So after this in the column, so we will create another div. And in this div, what we have to do, we have to put a span. In this span, we have to create a class as what? BG success and text white and rounded 2 I am giving. And here we need to display. So what is it? Product dot ratings dot what? Rate. And I will keep another span there. And in that span, we have to keep what? Class. So BI star fill. Like this we are giving. And you can see that information comes here. Every span will have a padding 2. And you see it will display like this. And for example, the second product have a different rating as 4.1. And it have a different count of users. And it has different count of reviews. And you see everything have to change. But ratings and reviews we are not displaying, right? Ratings and reviews we have to display below. We can add or beside. So here I will put a bold. And here I will put what it is? Product dot ratings dot rate. Rate, not rate, it is count. So ratings, I given the word ratings and we have product dot ratings dot reviews and the word reviews. And you see the data will come. And what about the features? So the features need to be displayed below this. We have to display the features. Now here, to display the features, here observe now I am using, later you will learn other concept. I am using an unordered list, UL. Am I right? In this unordered list, we have to generate the list items. You have to generate the list items dynamically. We need to generate the list items. That means now how you will add them. So here I am using a binding expression. What is it? Product dot what? Features. Features is an arena. Features is an array. Array is having a map. Map uses a callback function. It will read every feature, and every feature should be displayed as a list item. That means it should print a list item, suppose. But that is not correct. Here lengthy concept is there. I will tell you in next levels. Actually, it is printing a list item. In that list item, we are using what feature. Usually this is to be printed. That means this feature need to be printed there as unordered list. It is not going to handle. Why? Because this unordered list we have to create dynamically, not inside it. We have to create dynamically, and we should append to which one? We should append to card body. That part we will do in another example. How do we manage? As of now, if you want to display all the features, right? For example, I am using here a simple like data div. I'm just roughly showing you what is the collection now. Collection is what? Product dot features. Product dot features dot to string. You can see features is an arena, right? That means all these features will come like this. They all features will come like this. And to string is going to separate. So here with a comma style, it is going to separate with a comma. Na? Suppose I will use the word what? Join. Join will use a BR. That means it is using a separator. Now it looks okay. We learned join method, right? We can use the join. So here I am using class. Class is what? BI. Sorry, margin top 2 or something. Then it will display like this. So 3 or 4, it will display like this. Now, for example, so here, so join is using a line break, right? But suppose I created this as an UL. UL is what? Unordered list. I am creating an unordered list, but it will be only one list item it will have. These all must be displayed as what? These all must be displayed as list item. Suppose I give like this, then it will display only one, right? Later we can do such complex things, right? Because this is too much in the current stage, early stage. You don't need to do this much as of now. This is enough. Just you need to print with a break that will be displayed. This time we are accessing the data of multiple. Now, what is the specialty here is, you see here, suppose I will say champion gold. Another product is there. Am I right? So snipe tool, and I will copy this product related photo. Okay. And I will save this, and I will say Realme gold. Realme gold I am giving, and we just do one thing here. What we will do is, so currently we are having two details. Let's go to the data now, and in the data just add one more object. Am I right? Comma, I am adding one more object. This object champion what? Gold. And its cost is suppose 9,999. Like this we are having, and it is Realme what? Gold. And it is having some 64 GB, something like this. And you can see that whenever data is updated, one more is added. That means the data is updated and all the information is ready. We are just adding the new details, and it is updating those details and displaying. Now this is another example. Here we are using multiple products. We are dealing with multiple products. So this is same. What is it? Products dot what? JSON. And we have some Flipkart dot HTML. In the HTML, we are creating a presentation dynamically and we are handling that. Now, if you can create and manage such data by yourself, now we will see some data coming from real-time API. That means we can take data coming from NASA. We can take data from other websites. Online, there are so many people who provide free data for projects. If you are a learner, you are practicing some technologies, then they will provide you some free APIs. You have several websites like, for example, we have a fake store API. This is a API store. This fake store API, it is REST API for e-commerce or shopping website. If you are developing a e-commerce or shopping website, for that what data is required, the data they will give. They given so many URLs, you see, and see they given a fetch method only. They are giving this fetch. That's what we are using in JavaScript now. And observe here, these are all the data they are having. When you click on this, you can see all the data comes in this way. See, it is an array of what? Object. And every object have ID, title, price, description, category, image, rating is again object. So developers work is, remember, not just presenting, we have to add interaction. Interaction means what we have to do, left side, we have to design a filter panel. In that filter panel, user will select price, this range to this, and only those will display. User will select this color, only that color will come. That means you should able to filter, you should able to sort the data. Presenting the data is not just important. So creating interactions with the data is important. That we will able to do in one example. Now what we will do is, we will take this data, which is ready-made, and we will try to create a shopping cart. Means user can browse the products, user can add the product into cart, and he can see what products are there in his cart. That means we must able to filter the data. We must able to add the carts, create the carts by ourselves. If we can create, then it is enough. We can easily handle different data, right? That we will see in the next sessions, right? Today, this is enough, right? So this is very important because this is the life of a developer in the current generation. You are any software developer working with backend and front end technologies. Every day your work is working with APIs, Java, .NET, everybody. That means your job is, they provide some data, you have to create a presentation, interactions with that. Now we will create one complete end-to-end example using the ready-made APIs online, right? Then we will get a complete idea on interaction. Okay, then that we'll see in tomorrow's session. Okay, tomorrow we'll continue, right? Yeah. Is it enough? Right, yeah.